Never trust the general army, because many members of general army are patriots. They love their country. You need, as a committed Muslim, you need to have an army that the member even can kill his mom and dad. I hope you read the Quran. At least read the Quran chapter 9. It says kill pagans, kill Jews and Christians, kill your relatives and your neighbors, and relatives, everybody. And even disregard the guardianship of your father if they are not Muslim, or even they are not committed Muslim. So if you're a Muslim, your father is not committed, you disregard the guardianship of your father. Now, it's not talking to mature people, it's talking to immature children, because guardianship for immature people. Now, it's again different with American law. In American law, if you're under 18, you're immature. In Islam, if you're a boy under 12, you're immature. If you're a girl under 9, you're immature. It's encouraging 9-year-old girls to reject the guardianship of their parents. And that's why these little boys and girls are used for suicide bombing in Palestine. They're taught to disregard the guardianship of their infidel, so-called infidel father. So we wanted to establish this army, and with this army to go and capture Israel, and also prepare terrorists to send to America and Western countries to destroy them from inside. And that's why we were overseeing the group teaching young boys and girls. Next one, please. This is me. I'm praying in a mountainous area. Mountain is so important for radical Muslim, for committed Muslim. Actually, they have marked some mountains in America. If you go to the website, click Islamberg. That's the Islamic city. They bought a mountain in the state of New York. They made a town there. And they are teaching their children how to fight. American government knows that. So go to the website. I do not have time to talk about that. So mountain is so important for committed Muslim. Next one. We took them to the army camp or mountainous area to teach them. That's me there. Next. This is my wife. Well, just take it easy. She's not here. She was she was among all girls the angriest one. Hostile. I said, wow, this is mine. It's true. Really, leaders really love angry boys and girls because they are able to kill. They are full of hatred. So for the same reason, we got married. This is our wedding day. You see how excited they are? It's their wedding day. Islam is not an exciting religion. That's why I'm saying to you, you need to know Islam. Islam is so different. Quran is so different to the Gospel. Gospel says to you always rejoice. Because if you're saved, that's joy. That's the joy of the Lord. You know, Paul is saved, but Paul is in prison in Philippian letter. He writes to Philippian, I tell you rejoice. Rejoice. You know, you cannot write in such a prison such words. They are horrible prisons. You haven't been in that prison. I have been there. That prison is so different to American prison. You have your TV there, everything is there. And even every year, a terrorist costs governments nearly $2 million. You know, that's different prison. From that prison, Paul writes and says, rejoice. But never Quran says that. Never Islam says that. Actually, if you go to mosque, if a person is smiling, everybody looks at that person. What is wrong with that person? Because you go to mosque to prepare yourself with hatred. Hatred is sin in the gospel. Hatred is blessing in the Quran. And that's why 85% of mosques in America, this is the real statistic I'm giving to you. They are teaching hatred, collecting money for terrorism, 85%. You see, that's a big number. Or producing terrorists. Where in America, these mosques even know that they are under scrutiny by American civil police, but they don't care about that. Imagine they are in America like that, what they will be in Iran, in Saudi Arabia, in Islamic countries. 100% hatred. So that's why we are not smiling. That actually this wedding was held in a mosque. Mosque is so important for committed Muslims. Mosque is your house, your parliament, your court, your garrison or army, everything. That's why everywhere they go, they see that obligation to plant a mosque. Everywhere they go. And actually, according to Islamic doctrine, if you build a mosque in a non-Islamic country, after the building of that mosque, that country belongs to the Islamic world, not to non-Muslims anymore. You see, this is a disrespectful religion. I mean, I'm not against building mosques in America, because if you believe in democracy, then everybody is free to worship their, God or whatever. To even, satanic worshippers are free in this country. It's democracy. I admire democracy. I admire the dust of democracy to the gold of authoritarianism. Because there is some chances for you in democracy. That's not my problem. My problem is that you're not able to build your mosque in your church in Saudi Arabia. That's my problem. That's leaders are ignoring that. That leaders even not only ignoring that, they're becoming power to those, despotic and authoritarian regimes to crush their own nation and to crush the world, and even to put an influence on our own societies. All Islamic countries have signed in the United Nations for freedom of speech, freedom of religion, and equal opportunity. No Islamic countries in the world are following that, and no one is speaking about that. Not only that, 2 years ago, 50 Muslim ambassadors in the United Nations, they offered the resolution to the United Nations to make it illegal, the criticism of Islam must be illegal in all over the world.
That's right.
And unfortunately, it was very close to be passed. Even Obama and Hillary Clinton, they were speaking in favor of that. But some American activists, I really admire them. They collected 50 million signatures. They went to the United Nations, they fought against it. However, it's not removed there, it's hanging there. And it's, they are looking for opportunity. Actually, the attack to American embassy recently was one reason for that, to push United Nations to make it illegal. Actually, 2 prime ministers spoke about that. One was Turkish prime minister, the other one was the president of Indonesia. Emphatically, they said this law must be passed in the United Nations. So they are providing excuses to pass this. So that's why they have signed it, but unfortunately nobody is caring about that. And I wish I become a president of your country. I know what to do. I will do with the love of Christ. I will say to Saudi Arabia, not any dollar of your country is going to come to this country unless my citizens are able to worship their God in your country, to build their churches in your country, or Hindus their temples, or Jews their temples. Freedom. But unfortunately, it's not happening. So that's why we held our marriage in the mosque, to teach our followers the significance of mosque. Next one, please. That's after our marriage. Next. This is our eldest daughter. She is around 5. Because of our age, she's not covered like my wife. You cover your daughters from the age of 7 in Islam, because you are a woman at the age of 7 ready for marriage. The Prophet of Islam was 49. He had a wife 6 years old. Her name was Aisha. This girl's life story is so heartbreaking. It still is happening in Islamic countries. Just 2 years ago, there was an 8-year-old girl, the wife of a 30-year-old man. Horrible things happened to her. Another one in Yemen died because she became pregnant. She was 12 years old. She was not able to give birth. She died with the baby. And so that's the holy practice of Islam. If you go to read Muhammad's book, always he encourages followers, have a child wife. Child marriage is allowed in the Quran. It's just shocking things. Next one. It was not shocking for me. My life is so full of shame. My life, I just look at that, just cry sometimes. You know, for my past, but I praise His name that He has saved me. Hallelujah. My family, next one. Myself, I became a very influential politician and announced my candidacy for Islamic Parliament, became a leader of a political party, but this time, after a year, almost a year, became an opposition to the Grand Leader. Why? Before taking over, he promised Iranian freedom and prosperity, economic prosperity, because Iran is a rich country, but many people poor. But after taking over, he sent all the money to Syria, to Hezbollah, and to Hamas to fight against Israel, and people became poor and poor and poorer. And also, people started to cry. Amazing, you know, I have seen amazing experiences. They made me angry at the leader. And so I became an opposition. I said, we have to look after our own people. And people criticized. They were taken to prison. They were tortured and slaughtered because of their criticism. It was scary and terrifying. A person a few months ago promised you freedom, but now not only you do not have freedom, you lost that little bit freedom you had from the time of King. Chaos is scary. We thought all of us are going to die if we just speak a little bit, speak out. So we said, okay, we are going to die, we need to do something. So I became an opposition. We went to him and I said to him, you promised us freedom, these people are angry. He said, yeah, I did, but I lied. You see, a holy leader can simply say to you that I lied. Why? Because it's written in the Quran. You can tell lie for the sake of Allah and Islam in order to dominate. It's called holy lying or convenient lying. Imagine lying becomes holy. Holy deception. It's a doctrine of Islam. It's a doctrine of Islam. The Islamic judicial book is in the Amazon actually. It's called Reliance of the Traveler. If you buy it, purchase it, $40. Don't buy it. I have got the book at my home. I can send the reference to you. It says to you, lying for the sake of Islam is permissible. It's in judiciary, their book. So he said to us very openly, I didn't lie for myself, I lied for the Holy One. Isn't that ridiculous? Lying for the Holy One? If he is holy, does he need your lie? So, we were crushed. We never thought, we knew that you can tell lie, use deception in Islam, but not for righteous people. However, Islam is a funny religion. If you're more righteous than others, so you can deceive them too. That happened to us. Not only that happened to us, we were losing our country, losing our lives, our children, our younger people. So we needed to do something. Some friends said, hi, but we start our own movement, our own political party.